Welcome to Seaway Whiskywire. Tonight on the bar, we've got the Old Ezra Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey. Stay tuned. Well, hey guys, thanks for coming back after the intro. I'm Tyler, and tonight on the bar, we've got the Old Ezra Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey. Another offering from my buddies over at Lux Row, and they were nice enough to send me a bottle over for my review. But before we get into the Old Ezra Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey, if you guys have anything from Ezra Brooks, you have anything from Lux Row, you have some Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey, you got something that's aged 7 years like this bourbon right here, and you want to pour yourself a dram and drink along with me, please do so. I encourage it. It makes life a heck of a lot better for you on the other end, and I enjoy you guys drinking along with me. So, I've already kind of told a little bit of the backlaw around Ezra Brooks and the fictional character and whatnot. If you haven't seen that already, you can go check out my review on the Ezra Brooks 99 proof. But we'll get into this next iteration of the Ezra Brooks lineup in the Old Ezra. So, Old Ezra, what can I tell you about this? Well, it's a Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey and states prominently on the bottle that it's aged for 7 years. And charcoal mellowed. It's in the same process that the Ezra Brooks 99 uses, I assume. It's distilled and aged in Kentucky and bottled for Lux Row Distilleries in Bardstown, Kentucky. And this particular expression from them is barrel strength. It comes in at 58.5% ABV or 117 proof. And the mash bill makeup of this particular bourbon here is going to be 78% corn, 10% rye, and 12% malted barley. So now we've kind of gone over the overview of the bottle. Let's get into the presentation. Much like the Ezra Brooks 99, I don't really think there's too much information on here, but I will say that I do enjoy the packaging more so on this bottle. It's very elegant with the off black or lighter black and the gold on there, and unlike the Yellowstones, again, it has a nice cork and very easy to pull, and the bottle is not overly bad. I just wish they had more information on it. You can go online and find some information on it, which is okay, but I wish they had a little bit more information on the bottle to actually explain kind of the process, kind of a little bit more about the brand, and kind of a little bit more about Lux Row in general. But anyways, it's always about the presentation. I'd probably give it a pass, maybe 3 out of 5 or something like that. But let's go ahead and look at the color. I'll pour it into my nice Highland glass here, and we'll give the color a look of the Old Ezra 7-year-old Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey. All right. I just picked up this Highland glass, and I'm actually really enjoying it. It was on a recommendation of one of my buddies, one of the guys I'm friends with online. I'm actually really enjoying it from a whole perspective of nosing, tasting, and visual. So we'll go in close here, and you can get a look on the Old Ezra 7-year-old. So very prominently an orange hue to it there, a little bit of mahogany, very classic bourbon color to it. And at 7 years, I would expect that most of that would be imparted from the virgin oak casks and the charred oak that they're using in their process. All right. Well, now that we've had a look at the color and taken that, let's dive into the nose and see what we can get on the Old Ezra 7-year-old Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey. Almost said Ezra Brooks on there. But let's dive into the nose and see what we can get. So right off the bat, because I was not a fan of the Ezra Brooks 99, much more complex nose, much nicer nose. Even at that additional percent of alcohol there, the 58.5%, there's no ethanol, which I was really deterred from the Ezra Brooks on originally, the Ezra Brooks 99. No ethanol at all, no harsh edges. Toast, I get some cream on there, some toasted marshmallows, vanilla, cinnamon, nutmeg, and cloves. Really deep, rich demerara or brown sugar in there. Maybe perhaps a little bit of coffee or dark chocolate as well. Yeah, much more nicer nose, much more complex, much more what I would expect out of a bourbon that's aged 7 years. And just full flavor, like full aromas coming off that nose. All right, very nice nose. Let's get into the profile and the taste and see what we can get out of the Old Ezra 7-year-old Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey. So cheers to your health. Let's dive into it. full-bodied, mouth coating, mouth watering. Big flavors: vanilla, oak, caramel, brown sugar, some heavy cream, like texture on the mouth and lips. Very buttery. Gonna go for another sip. A little bit of honey and toffee. Some toasted nuts on the end. Cinnamon, nutmeg. Very warming. Yeah. Very nice. A tremendous jump up from the Ezra Brooks 99. I will say that. And you know, that was kind of the one thing I was getting into this review. I was getting into this bottle. A couple times I'd actually asked my my friends to pour me a blind just so I wouldn't have those kind of preconceived notions about, you know, maybe what it tastes like or what to expect. But I was very much impressed with this bottle and the profile and the upgrade in the nose and the taste. But let's get into the finish on the Old Ezra 7-year-old Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey, and just see if there's anything else that we can pull out of that, and I'll share you my final thoughts of it. So going in for one more sip because I'm quite enjoying it actually. And I don't know if it's the glass, but maybe it is. So it is full flavor. That barrel strength is really kicking in. You get those flavors, and they're long. The finish is very, very much a medium to long finish. Starts off kind of sugary sweet, vanilla, caramel. Hits you with that punch of oak, and then you get that nice spice at the end. The spice is nothing that's, you know, abrasive or anything that, you know, not overly spicy, but it is nice. It is there. No black pepper, cinnamon, clove, nutmeg, I think is kind of the main thing on there. And yeah, it's kind of a sweet bit of heat in the middle with those oak tannins, that bitterness, and then it drifts into that nice warm hug of spice and cinnamon, nutmeg, and a little bit of clove at the end there. Very nice. Very complex and much more approachable. I shouldn't say approachable. To me, much more in line with what I would expect out of a 7-year-old bourbon, and much more what I would expect out of something that I plan on sipping neat. And a far upgrade from their original entry level, which is the Ezra Brooks 99. A tremendous step up, in my opinion. You know, but that being said, value is really where you need to go with this, especially when I'm talking about an extreme jump up in quality, aromas, and palate. So we'll get into the value proposition now and see what this brings to the table. So at the LCBO in Ontario, this particular bottle is just under $100. I think it was in like $99.95 or something like that. So $100 bottle. We'll say it's a $100 bottle of bourbon. At 7 years old, I think that's pretty par for the course and fair. It is basically double the price of the Ezra Brooks 99, and rightfully so in my opinion, because this is a huge step up. I've already said it in every aspect of the brand. I might just go in for one more sip just because I'm smelling it here, and it does smell really good, and I'm really enjoying it. For something that's barrel strength and from just a nice complex, like I would compare this to an Elijah Craig a little bit. They're as full of flavors and just a different profile, but definitely as full of flavors that you would get off of like something from Elijah Craig. And now I'm getting like that toasted nut, almost like this chocolate note at the end of it too. Yeah, it's very enjoyable bourbon, and I really am enjoying it. Much more so than the Ezra Brooks 99. I gotta stop saying that because I've said it, I mentioned it more times almost than I've mentioned the Old Ezra 7-year-old. But it's such a jump forward, guys. So recommendations as far as this $100 bottle of bourbon, you know, you do you. I think this is definitely one that you want to try out and see if it's kind of fits in that flavor profile you're looking for. To me, when I think of like, you know, standard bourbons, or those kind of everyday bourbon flavors. I think they meet the profile of that. It's an age statement product here, 7 years of age, charcoal mellowed, and coming from a reputable brand in Lux Row distilleries. So I'm going to go tell you to go and pick this up and try it if you can find it. I know it's harder to find in my area, but you in those bigger cities or whatever, you should be okay to find it in your area. They have it available out west in Canada, and probably massively available in the US, for obvious reasons. But yeah, that's my review of the Old Ezra 7-year-old Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey. And hey, if you like what I'm doing here at Seaway Whiskey Wire, you guys know that drill. Like and subscribe down below. And hey, don't forget to check me out on Instagram at Seaway Whiskey Wire. And hey, for those of you who have hung around this long to watch me go through the motions with this bottle and check out my my notes and all that kind of stuff, thank you so much for tuning in. Thanks for watching till the end. Really appreciate it. Really glad that you guys are enjoying the content, and I'm going to do my darndest to keep bringing it to you. Well, with that, I'm going to wrap up my review, and hopefully you're having a great weekend here. Very rainy in the Seaway, but you know what? This bottle here is definitely helping me warm up and brighten my spirits. So cheers to your health. Take care, and I'll see you next time, guys. Bye for now.